I beg your pardon?
If you would go back through that so that we understand what part actually does violate the open meeting act.
Okay.
Because my understanding, even in the last meeting with Kent, was that two or three of us could meet and discuss a topic. So
Two or three of you could indeed meet and discuss a topic without violating the Open Meetings Act. But what you have to watch out for is when you have one or two of those two or three that go and visit with one or two other members of the body. Then you get into a situation where you have what's known as a walking quorum, where you're creating that consensus, that meeting of the minds, outside of the purview of the public. So that's what you have to watch out for in situations where the meeting of the minds is occurring and it hasn't been posted. But it's okay for one or two members, or for two, maybe three members, since, given the size of the council, you can have three members who would sit down and talk about an item, discuss items before they ever make it to the public venue. And that's okay. That's not a violation of the Open Meetings Act because you're working with numbers less than the quorum. But it's whether or not you reach that point where a consensus, a meeting of the minds has occurred, that's what has to be subject to the public scrutiny. So that's why sometimes committee meetings will trigger violations of the Open Meetings Act. That's why emails can trigger violations of the Open Meetings Act. I always tell people, never hit reply all. If you never hit reply all, you're not going to violate the Open Meetings Act.
I need a little more clarification on that. Say that there is a developer and he wants to show his property, and he takes two or three council members, and then he takes two or three more council members, and then he takes two or three more. Is that a walking
quorum?
Yes.
Councilmember, that is a great question. And there is an Attorney General opinion out there that came out in the last 2 or 3 years that indicates that the developer who goes out and gets council members and talks to council members, whether it's singly or in groups, that person goes out and he talks to them and tries to persuade them to approve his particular development plan or his case, and he goes from that group or that person to the next one and talks to them, tells them, well, I've already shown them, so I've already talked with these people about this item and they're all in support of it. And he's telling us, going through the process with each one of the council members. There's an Attorney General opinion out there that says that developer, that third party who is not a member of a governing body, can be violating the Open Meetings Act. They may have actually perpetrated a conspiracy to violate the Open Meetings Act, which also carries criminal penalties.